Okay? Does that sound? I'm registering sound now. Windows has changed my sound device. I did a Windows update this morning. In fact, I've got no sound for the game, so I need to change that. So on the stream, you should be able to hear me now, but no game sound. So give me a second. All right, we've got game sound. Yeah, we've got game sound. I've still not got you, Jeremy, so I need to get you sorted. So we should now have you, Jeremy, and there we go. So my apologies for
everyone.
that, with the technical difficulties there. My apologies. I had a Windows update this morning, and it's redirected all my hardware. So the stuff I had set up originally was a bit of a nightmare. So I was unaware of that. Normally it all just works. So my apologies in advance. So what I was saying is Team GB have basically won this, but second, third, and fourth have got it all to play for the next three places on the grid. We're in qualifying. I was going to do a lap guide with one of these guys, but what I'll do is I'll pick somebody else. Although Mark Christopher's coming round again. In fact, no, we'll do Chris Bourne. We'll ride on board with Chris Bourne. So he's coming down the straight. He'll put the car left, brake after the, I think it's the 100-metre board, and swing the car into La Source. He'll get the power down as soon as he can. The car will drift left. He'll naturally pull the car to the right alongside the wall. And then as he comes down to the bottom, he'll pull the car to the left, over the curb, and then swing it upright into Eau Rouge and Radion. And he'll be looking to get as maximum power out this corner as possible. The power on, Eau Rouge, and then Radion. And then that takes on to the Kemmel Straight. The Kemmel Straight, keep your foot down. If you're defending, you usually stay on the right. If you're just racing as normal, you would normally go on the left-hand side. And again, you're looking to brake at the curbing on the left-hand side into Lake Coombe. So you want to ride the curb a little bit on the right here and also ride the curb on the left to keep the power down. And then you want to cut this corner as much as possible within track limits and drift left as much as possible within track limits, but keep your foot planted. Again, braking at the curb and then getting the car into the inside line here, tapping the accelerator, keeping it going. And as you come round, the back end will follow you. Accelerate hard and you'll swing the car around well into Bruxelles. And now we're coming down the fast part of the track, which is the left-hander of Purion. So tap the brake, get the car in, keep it slightly accelerating, then get the power down, and the car will drift to the inside line, then drift back out to the right-hand side. He'll then move the car to the left under the bridge and brake under the bridge at the curbing and turn right into Campus. Again, left hand, he might ride the curb a little bit here to get the car in, then he'll rotate it, put his foot down, and this takes him into the right hand of Stavelot. And again, he'll be looking to ride the curb on the right and then drift left into the curbing on the left-hand side, riding that a bit, and then into the right-hander, which is Curb Paul Frere. And if you go wide there, you will get track limits, and your lap will be invalidated. In this example, Chris's lap is invalidated. That invalidated his lap. He's now into Blanchimont, the fast left-hander, double left-hander. You can take this at full throttle. The car will move to the right-hand side. That would have been within track limits. And then you come up to the chicane, which is also known as the bus stop. Get the car as close to the curb as possible. Don't hit the curb, it'll ride the car. And this one as well, if you don't hit the curb, you'll get round. If you hit the curb, it'll ride the car up a little bit. And as you can see there, he's decided to give that up. But that was a good lap by Chris there, certainly for following the track guide. Quick hello to those on the stream.
Hello, everyone.
We've got Peter David. We've got Big Natty. Hi, James. We've got Frank. We've got Terry. We've got Merche. We've got Peter LaFrance. We have Derek Bird. Yep. Hello, all. So, we've been talking about something the last few hours, really. Myself, Jeremy, and somebody else in the eSeniors spotted it. We've got what we believe. We found some cheating going on, so we're not hiding it. We're not going to announce names at the moment. Whereas, you know, it's very difficult to prove cheating can go on, but we do have proof. Obviously, proof says 1,000 words, and we've got pictures to prove it. We've got obviously the telemetry to prove it as well. And what we're going to do is do some research into a little bit more, and if it's proven, which it's looking like it's a no-brainer at the moment, we'll be taking the relevant action. Okay, so we're not going to say what the cheating is, because it means people can go and research it, but it's pretty much blatant cheating. So as I said, we've done some research of what's going on, what went on, and we can actually prove it. So, you know, it's not a case of someone saying it's a mistake. This was pretty obvious, really. So we're not going to announce who for obvious reasons. We're just going to look into it and then take the relevant measures. But one thing we will not tolerate is people cheating within our environment. You know, we're a bunch of gentlemen who are supposed to be trying to race fair, and the second we find someone who's going beyond that, we're going to take the relevant action, and they will be disposed of from the group. Okay, so don't ask us any more information. That's all we're prepared to say. We did say, you know, me and Jeremy agreed we'd do an announcement on the stream today, just so people are aware that, you know, something's not right. We have spotted it, we are aware of it, and consequently we will take the relevant action if proven. But the evidence that we've seen at the moment is pretty much cut and dry. Jeremy was unaware of the evidence till I showed it him, and it's fair to say, Jeremy, it's cut and dry, isn't it?
100%. It's absolutely undeniable that cheating took place. It's unfortunate and not tolerable within our organization, and it will be treated accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, but let's get to the race in hand. We had a good warm-up race yesterday. A lot of cars on track yesterday. It was a fantastic race, you know, and some really good racing going on even through the night. We've got Reese Wiggin. Hi, Reese. I think you were the winner yesterday, if I remember rightly. But then again, to be fair, mate, you did do this track on the endurance, so you probably did it half asleep, didn't you, with your eyes shut or something? Well, congratulations! It's a great victory. We've got Terry's joined us as well, and Melvin.
Hello, Terry.
So yeah, there was a bit of a sound problem. I had a Windows update this morning, and it completely stuffed all my sound devices. So when I was trying to speak before, you probably didn't hear me when I had the track on. So that's something I'm going to have to reset for tomorrow's race. But we got there. Luckily, I could manage to fix the problem relatively quickly. So what do we reckon is going to be a good lap time? Well, we've seen
Lars is sitting in P1 right now with a 2:19.1. That's an excellent time.
But Jonathan's done a 2:19. Okay, it was a thrown lap, but it was a 2:19. Yeah. So there's definitely a 2:19 in there, and that's nearly a second faster than Lars. We saw Jonathan yesterday put fantastic laps in the BMW. So obviously they've switched to the BMW as well at a cost of points for them. So he is free to race in the BMW because they've already took the points penalty. But it'll be interesting to see just where he goes. So Chris Bourne's doing well here at the moment. And we're with Chris Bourne. He's 4/10 up. His best laps are 2:20. And that will put him into the 2:19s. Well, he's losing a bit of time here. It'll put him into the 2:19.8s, which will move him up one place in front of Mr. Holmes. Jonathan Wood is going quicker. Yeah. So Jonathan Wood is looking, I'm just looking, his best lap was a 2:19.3 and Lars is a 2:19.1. Jonathan Wood's not far off a 10th up actually, but it's going to be close between them two. Hi Manuel, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us.
Hello Mr. Souza.
Don't forget, click that like and subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribe. At this point I want to thank our sponsors, PWS Clean Equipment, preciouswashers.co.uk. You'll see a couple of cars with the PWS logo on them. They are obviously sponsoring ACC TV and allowing us to provide this service to you and the rest of the world. The numbers are increasing, and as I said yesterday, I've been looking at the analytics on YouTube. We are having a big impact, and that's all we need to do is get that impact and, you know, get ourselves as a bigger known group. And before you know it, you know, we could be hosting these massive events where big companies want to sponsor you and get involved, you know, and provide the services to you.
Absolutely.
We have something.
Yeah, I just wanted to announce. Mark and I are preparing the next season, and the teams the format will change for the next championship that will start at the end of January. The idea is to bring more cars, so to create a 3-team, 3-driver per team, and 1 driver representing each group. So a driver from Group 1, a driver from Group 2, and a driver from Group 3. That should make a very interesting championship for the next team's event.
Yep. So we're working hard behind the scenes as well on a few other things. But yeah, we're excited, it's fair to say.
Absolutely.
For what's coming. We've also worked out which days we're not putting racing together over the festive period of the holiday period. depending on how you refer to it. For obvious reasons, we've got to consider people from all walks of life and what their intentions are over what will be the holiday stroke festive period. And we've already worked out when we're not going to be actively racing. The servers will still be up. You can still go on there and practice. You know, when you get all new Fanatec equipment on that fantastic day, you decide you want to have a play, you can still do that. It just might be an empty track.
Exactly. So and also there will be a new show. Mark and myself will be putting a new show together. It will be a talk show to preview the next season, and it will be a regular talk show. It will probably be online once a week. So we are really looking forward to presenting that to you all.
And we are looking for people to be part of that show as well. So it's not just going to be about me and Jeremy. It's going to be about, you know, it's all about you. This isn't about us. This is about you. And we want to give you the opportunity to, you know, to be part of this venture we're going down.
Yeah, we'll make sure most of the eSeniors are represented there, and we'll have you'll be invited. That's for sure.
That's the grand plan. Now, the qualifying's become pretty static. There's not many people really out on track going fast.
John Saunders managed 1:19.09.
Yeah, 2:19. Yeah, he's basically 100th of a second quicker than Lars. Because Lars has done a 2:19.1, hasn't he?
That's right.
So when we got Jonathan Wood in the 2:19.3s, he's out again, but 3 minutes left, he might get another lap in with Neil Bywater. Neil Bywater was looking quick, but he's not. He's lost a bit of time. That's the thing on this track. I had to go before just to try and improve my lap times for qualifying, and the time is there, but it's one of these. It's almost like the lap is mythical. Getting that perfect lap with every corner, it's mythical. You'll go out, you'll do the first section, fantastic, and you're like 3/10 up, 4/10 up. You'll come to the second section and you'll brake in the wrong place, and next minute you're 2/10 down, and you'll come to the third section, and halfway round you'll be another 2/10 up. Then you'll come round the last corner and get your braking point wrong, and before you know it, you've lost all your time. So that was Neil Bywater going off track limits there. Back with Mark Christopher, the only other person on track going well at the moment. His lap time is a 2:21.2. He's 3/10 up, so he's looking to break into the 2:20s here. But he's still got a long way to go. He's 4/10 up.
So the top four drivers are literally between a half a second.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very intense start.
But the gap between fourth and fifth, that's 6.6 of a second. That's massive. You know, when you're talking Assetto Corsa Competizione, 6/10 of a second in a lap, that's massive.
It is.
So Chris Bourne is 6/10 ahead of Craig Holmes, and as I said, Craig Holmes has got to find a way of filling that gap somehow. So Mark Christopher's lost a bit of time here. As I said, that mythical lap, and he's just gone wayward there as well, and that's lost all his time. So that little twitch going into that corner lost him 2/10, and it's suddenly settled the car now, and consequently he's still ahead by 1/10, but he's just let go there a little bit. You can take that corner flat out, and that's where I think he's losing time. So he's going to be sitting in the 2:21s at the end of this, unless he gets braking point really, really good at the end. This braking point is so important. As I said, don't hit the curb. He's gone deep. He's never going to recover that, and you can see how much the car bounced, and he's lost all his time. That's why I say that mythical lap is so important. And them curbs are the ones that when you're running at night and it gets to gone midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, hit them curbs, kiss goodbye to your tyres. They will just drain pressure, because them curbs are not designed to be ridden over, hence why they are where they are and why they're as severe as they are. I'm going to jump forward to Andreas. So Andreas is on a good lap here. He's only just started his lap, so we'll see where he goes. Andreas has got the opportunity here to go into the 2:20s, which will be phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Great power around that corner. He's kept that car going really, really well, but he has lost his time. So he's looking at a 2:21.1. he's Neil Bywater's 5/10 up at the moment.
Yeah, and by the way, Neil is not driving his car of choice. He's in the Aston Martin. I believe he's a Ferrari driver.
Right.
If I'm not wrong.
Yes, you're right. He's but he has driven this car a few times now, though, hasn't he? To be fair.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's one of them. You get, at least when you've driven the car, as you can see there, the qualifying's over. At least you have a chance when you've driven the car. Hi, Mikhail.
Hello there.
I've seen John Wilson's just provided another skin. That's something else we're going to have to upload. One thing to, as qualifying comes to an end, just one thing to talk about. Has anybody noticed how much the lagging's disappeared when connecting to a server?
Sure. How do you attribute? What do you attribute that to?
Well, it's the changes they've made. So when you connect with a skin of someone else's car and they're on track, it creates the DDS1 file for you. That's what the game needs. That's why the replays in the software I use now are instantaneous, because all the skins are in memory and it's not having to load them up each time. So the changes they've made have made a massive difference to prevent the lagging, and I personally have felt a massive difference even on my own server.
Very nice. So that is a function on the server itself?
No, something they've done in the game.
I see.
So they fixed it in game. This is why I say to people, don't delete your skins, because the problem will improve. Okay.
Excellent.
So Terry, hi Terry Howard. Hi Willie.
Hello Terry.
Right, so I think we're going to come to an end now. So quick intro, back shortly.
It twitches more.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a grid walk. Me and Jeremy just caught in the flows of a discussion on fastest lap at Spa. So we'll have a quick grid walk. So in pole position for Team GB in the Lexus, we have John Saunders. Obviously, these guys are the winners of this group, but obviously they're still going to be racing for it. On the second row, Lars Eklund in Team Burning Moose in the McLaren. Absolutely fantastic qualifying time there. David Gerrard in the first of the PWS Esports sponsored Aston Martin, and then Jonathan Wood, the first of the West Coast team in the BMW. They made a change and got the points penalty for that. We then have Chris Bourne in the Team GB Lexus, and then we have Craig Holmes in the Fanatec Bentley. We then have Krista Hjort in Team USA Aston Martin, and Neil Bywater in the first of the Team Rhythm Tech Aston Martin. We have Mark Christopher in the PWS second Aston Martin, and Andreas Pettersson in the Team Burning Moose McLaren. We then have the first of the Team DK, Kenneth Lingham in the Bentley, and as you can see, it's already starting to go dark. And then Jaime Goddard representing Jeremy in the other Team Rhythm Tech Aston Martin. We then have Stefan Buckley in the West Coast USA BMW, and we have Kai Schaefer, in the other Bentley DK. And then towards the back we've got Frank, which is great to see Frank racing again. Obviously he's I believe he's had some painkillers that appear to be working. Jeremy's car, the BMW, will disappear to the pits on race commencement. So
hello Dimitri.
Hi Dimitri. So where do we think this is going to go? Is it foregone conclusion, a 1-2 with Chris Bourne and John Saunders?
Yeah, I believe it will be.
I'm not convinced. I think there's a hidden gem in this pack.
Could be.
And I think that hidden gem is going to be Mr. Wood. I think we're going to see Mr. Wood spoil a party here.
Well, he's been doing amazingly well on this track, so...
He's been doing amazing well on the BMW, to be fair. It's not bad, the track.
Yeah.
You can see Lars there's decided he wants to pull away. And obviously, the game will pull them back to a certain degree. And I think we saw the other day as well, I think it was one of the races at Bathurst, where one of the drivers made a good start and was in front. So let's see where that goes. So they're coming down, and as they come to the light gantry, I think it gives you quite an early green light here, if you recall, depending on how many cars are on track. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Robert.
That's it. Lights have gone green. This into this corner. 2 does not go. And in this corner, 2 does not go without being extremely generous. And you can see straight away there's been a big off. That's 2 cars. Oh, 3 cars. That's Wood. Oh, disaster. There's cars everywhere. Oh, dear, dear, dear. That's so... So Lars is out. John Saunders is out. Stefan Buckley's been hit. Kai's been hit.
Incredible.
As I said, we've got further shenanigans going on. Craig Holmes and that coming in, and that Bentley's looking very, very wayward there.
Well.
Now I'm trying to work out who's benefited and who's lost from that. So Jonathan Wood is now behind Chris Bourne and David Gerrard. So
That's
they
right.
managed to escape that furore at the start. Wow. No, we're not doing restarts, Dimitri. We'll be here all night. So we've got 2 cars. We've got 1 car in the pit, John Saunders. He will probably come out. Krista's managed to take Neil. So I don't. Neil, I think, was involved. And there's been another incident. So let's go back to that, because this is Neil and Krista. I'm going to jump on board with Neil. Or do I need to be on board with Krista? For Krista, we need to be on board. So Krista's behind Neil in the Rhythm Tech Aston. Is Krista going to go for a dive? Oh, he's outbroke himself. Oh, and he's caused him to spin round there. So Krista's going for it. He's accelerating on. I mean, that's obviously a bump pass. That will be given as a penalty, but it depends on where Neil ends up, because that could actually be a 10-place penalty based on where he's going. So we're on board here with Jonathan Wood. A lot of these races, what I'll be doing is I'll be keeping on board with the drivers like this, because you get to see the race because of the lack of light. Depending on where you are on the track, if you go at night time, you can't see because of the trees, and you can see just how quick Jonathan Wood is here. I'll go to the far chase so you get to see what's going on. And look how quick that BMW went round the corner compared to Chris Bourne. He has dropped Chris Bourne in 1 corner, and as we know, that is not Chris Bourne. So Jonathan is now after David Gerrard.
Yeah, in the meantime, unfortunately, Lars' car is completely destroyed. I'm sure he's going to pit right away as soon as the pit window opens. It's unfortunate what happened, because I know Spa is his favorite all-time track.
Yeah.
And he was probably looking forward to a race, and his race got destroyed.
Yeah, Neil Bywater's pit as well. Mark Christopher's passed Craig Holmes, but he's very wayward there. Mark Christopher managed to outbrake Craig Holmes, but Craig Holmes is off. Craig Holmes has gone sideways. Oh, he's managed to keep it. He has managed to keep it, but as you can see now, he's being passed by Kenneth. So the 2 Bentleys, is he going to go up the inside? No, he's not. He got very loose there. I think that's why Mark Christopher, he's got the inside line here. He'll get the braking point. There you go, to the outside to cut up the inside. And that's it. Craig will have to calm his nerves down and get going again. But there was no contact, so that looked like a self-inflicted incident there. So I'm going to just keep on board with... Oh, it's a difficult one. Andy Goddard, Jaime. Because he is gaining on Kai. And I'm just interested to see how he came out of that incident. As a result of all the cars going off early on. So we've currently got 1 car in the pit, 2 cars, Neil Bywater and John Saunders. John Saunders yet to carry out a lap as a result of damage. I mean, obviously that replay is going to have to be looked at. both cars went up there quite aggressively side by side, and I think what's happened is, as they've gone up the left-hander, the car on the inside's hit the curb and slipped to the right and caught the back end, and that's what's caused the car to go round. So I think Andy Goddard's got problems here. His lights just flickered then. Now I know it doesn't show you normally a replay, but if the lights are flickering, that implies you've got a damaged car. So from within inside his car, he could well be struggling a little bit, and you can see his windscreen is broken. It's not broken, but very dusty. So he's obviously struggling, and Kenneth decided he's going in as well. So Kenneth's got a bit of a problem. So what a start. Wow, wow. What a start.
Oh, and a stop and go for Neil Bywater. He probably sped in the pits.
So I'm going to go back here to Jonathan Wood. He's closed the gap down, and we've got Neil Bywater coming out the pits there. He's closed the gap down to less than a second to Gerard. So he's really got the bit between his teeth as Jonathan Wood. Hi, Nikos.
Hello, Nikos.
So Terry says Wood did get hit. So what I'll do is I'll jump outside on Wood's car just to see if we can see any damage.
Yeah, I don't see any damage on Jonathan's car.
No.
I checked earlier. It seems to be fine.
Yeah, Jonathan's car does look okay, to be fair. So I think he's got away with that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Wow, what a start. That's certainly not what we expected. And just to think, we've got 4 races left this week. We'll all need the festive period to recover after Spa. And Bathurst.
Well,
what 2 tracks to end the season with?
that Eau Rouge is very difficult. I mean, especially at the start. Either you take it easy or you play with fire, and you have to survive the consequences. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of them. You don't want to back out, but if you want to stay in the race, you back out.
That's right. Exactly. You have to be smart.
Yeah. And Stefan's having a good run here in the other BMW. He's putting pressure on Kenneth. And I thought it was Kenneth who pitted before. I'm just going to jump forward. Craig Holmes is now putting pressure on Mark Christopher. So I think Craig's now got himself resettled. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I have an incident like that, where I lose concentration or I lose the balance of the car, and we can see the Neil Bywater's going in for his stop and go, it always takes me a lap or two to get me thought back and get me rhythm back.
Absolutely.
And I think we've just seen that with Craig here. He lost the balance a little bit, going up the top into Lecombe, and I think he's just getting his confidence back up again so he can race. Kai's just gone off track. He is running again. Actually, he's just come out of the pits. It was Kai who pitted. Jonathan Wood.
Jonathan is really applying pressure on David right now, and Chris Bourne is sitting in 3rd place watching, safely behind.
Whoa! Jonathan Wood. I think David Gerard got caught out by the back marker.
He has to wait.
He is. He's letting him past. But I think he got caught out by the back marker, because the back marker pulled over to the right-hand side, and Jonathan had nowhere to go. So, I mean, the back marker there, I don't know if they played a part in that, but they pulled up on the right, and I think that would put me off, to be fair. I mean, still...
Well, that played it to the hands of...
Chris Bourne.
Chris Bourne. He passed both.
And Chris Bourne's giving it back.
Chris Bourne is letting them go. Interesting.
Yeah, Chris Bourne's the gentleman. He realised that wasn't... He gained there by unnecessary forces. Yeah. Because I think Chris Bourne could see the car had gone to the right. And I think, looking at it, David Gerard was going to go to the right but couldn't, because the car was there and that car was moving. So that car, I think it was Kai, probably should have either gone a bit sooner or eased off even earlier, because he tended to brake and leave his car where you'd expect 2 cars to potentially go alongside. So the gap went from a 2 to a 1.
Well, Chris is a real gentleman, because I tell you, I know very little drivers that will do the same.
Yeah, but don't forget, they've won. Chris has won. And he is a gentleman. We've seen this before with Chris.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And they have won the series as well.
Yeah.
But technically, he didn't have to wait. He didn't. He benefited from an incident. He didn't. He didn't. He, what he did is simply a nice gesture.
We've got a battle going on here with Andy Goddard. Andy Goddard's obviously battling with a broken car, but Andy Goddard's playing a blinder here. And the reason why he's playing a blinder is because when the pit window opens, which he has done, he can get his damage and his pit done in one go. Very smart. Very smart. So what he's done is he's almost got a free pass on getting his car repaired. So that's why he stayed out. His car was damaged just a little enough less so he could stay out. And he's going to go into the pits now, and he's going to come out pretty quick, I should imagine. And we can see Jonathan Wood still putting pressure on. Craig Holmes is very close. And what's happened to Mark Christopher?
Did he leave the server?
No.
It's before.
No, but it showed Craig past Mark, and Mark's passed him back. Let's just have a quick look at that, because that didn't make sense at all. Well, let's go to the bonnet chase. So Craig Holmes is behind Mark Christopher here. And again, we've got another back marker of a DK Bentley in front. Not being shown blue flag. So he's gone up the inside here. He's shown his intent, Craig. Oh, he's over-rotated it, and that's allowed Christopher to go back again. So that's the same corner he had an issue with before, which is Lake Coombe. So he's really struggling with the car to sit down at Lake Coombe, and it's allowing him to lose positions and races. So let me go back to Craig Holmes. He's really putting pressure on now. He needs a good run up. See, Mr. Christopher just going a bit wide there. He needs a good run on one of the straights to see if the Bentley will outrun the Aston. Mark Christopher's very close to track limits there. There's a little lip. When you go too far, it'll give you track limits. And because you're accelerating there, it will be a warning. Now, I was on the server before. I think it might have been Krista was on with me. And Krista got a stop and go for track limits. So it's very easy on this track. And I should imagine at night, it's just that little bit easier. Because do you see your braking point? Do you go wide? You forget to brake? We can see now, talking of Krista, he's now behind these. So we've got a Bentley. I think that's going to be Kai in front, who's now running well after he's done his pit stop. But eventually he's going to receive blue flags when he gets within 1 second of Mark Christopher.
Yeah, I just want to answer Nikos. Yes, absolutely, Nikos. Dimitri Statis does have an amazing communications company called Syndio, and eSeniors is very pleased to announce we'll make an announcement in the new year, and yes, we will hear a lot about Syndio in the 2022, and yes, it means connect in Greek. And it's a wonderful company, so more to come on that.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Dimitri. I was blown away and obviously privileged to be part of something wonderful. So, yeah, cheers for that, Dimitri. Really, really appreciate and respect what you're doing for us. And obviously, hopefully you get the same enjoyment back out on the track that we're trying to provide. And while all that was going on, Jonathan Wood passed David Gerrard.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he took the lead.
So what did I say?
Yeah, you were right. You were right. The thing is, Chris is in the chase, and he has the fastest lap.
Yeah.
And I think he's quietly sitting in the back right now. He's taking it easy. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Jonathan Wood's going faster. He's green lap time. Chris Bourne's down at the moment, so he's looking for a low 220 here. In fact, yeah, it won't be far off Chris's lap time. This Jonathan Wood could have the quickest lap here, so he's on a mission. Now he's got the gap. Now he's got that space. Can he get his braking point right? He can indeed. That PDS car stopped well then. But good drive out of that corner, and he's lost a bit of time there. So consequently, he's not going to get best lap, but he's not far off. Oh, brilliant. I'm so pleased, Dimitri. It's, we're, to be honest, I mean, I've been doing this streaming now for the whole of this season. And I have to admit, I've enjoyed every minute of it. What I've found from my perspective, and I've said this before on the stream, just while we're just going to jump back to Stefan, because Stefan is putting a bit of pressure now on Kenneth, is how much I've learned about the drivers. And what I mean by that is I learn the style. I watch them, see what are they likely to break here, are they likely to go for the dive. And it's quite interesting to see that when I'm on track against these people, you've almost got that sixth sense now as you know what they're going to do. And it just makes the whole experience better because it actually indirectly makes it safer because you can read them. Now, I think I'm in an honoured position here. And the reason why I say that is I do so many races. I see so many of you mixed in the different groups. You know, we're talking the teams, we're talking the GT4, the Porsche Cup, and the individual groups. And it's nice to see, first of all, some drivers develop. You know, we've had some fantastic drivers. Stefan has certainly caught my eye this season. Mr. Sosa has caught my eye this season. You know, I could reel off many, many drivers. And some of the new drivers, you know, Kenneth, been fantastic. And I don't want to miss anybody's name out there. You know, Terry, who I ended up racing with at Misano, come out of nowhere and then went from being mid-grid to up at the top of the grid. And it's just watching these little changes in drivers that you really appreciate what you're getting out of this, you know, out of this community and this racing online. And it is a privilege to be part of it, I have to say.
Absolutely. In the meantime, you know, it's a beautiful battle at the front with those three cars, and I think these guys are going to entertain us to the very end.
I think so. We got Craig here. He's got a very good run. That isn't a passing place, though, is it? Oh, Christopher's gone very wide there, but he's going to keep the power down. He will have a track notification there, but he's gone deep. He's going to have to get that car to rotate. But I can hear something in my headset. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? Oh, it's the local Father Christmas has turned up for the kids. So I don't know if my wife. I don't know if I better go and tell my wife in case she misses it. Oh, should be gutted.
Hello, Paul. Yes, you're absolutely right, Nikos. I am very fond of ancient Greek history and mythology. I'm in love with mythology since my younger age, and well, Greece is pretty much so rich in that regard. It's absolutely impossible to avoid it. So right now, Jonathan is leading, and David Gerard is under pressure from Chris Bourne. Yep. I believe Chris will end up passing David Gerard, but those three at the front are really holding on, and it's beautiful to watch because the closest Chris Holmes is fourth, 10 seconds behind, almost 11. And is being pressured by Mark Christopher as we speak.
I'm still around, guys. I just away from my screen 2 ticks.
John Saunders got a 30 second stop and go. I don't know how he got that, but. So far, Kai Schaefer, Jaime Godard, Lars, and John Saunders completed their pit stop.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Family business.
Not a problem.
Right.
I believe Lars will go back up in the ranking. He pitted early because his car was literally destroyed in that. Oh, and as I'm speaking, it just hit the wall.
Oh, right, because Chris Bourne's just passed David Gerrard. David Gerrard, as he come up through Eau Rouge, cut the corner into Radion. He cut the corner and it allowed Chris Bourne to go up the inside at the end of the Kemmel Straight. So Chris Bourne is now hunting Jonathan Wood down.
Oh, definitely, and he will hunt him hard, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see whether Chris Bourne means business now or whether he was just toying with them all. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the stream. Paul Moore, that is. Right, yes. You can see now Chris Bourne's pulling away. Now, is he gaining on Jonathan Wood? This current lap, no, he's not. Jonathan Wood is pulling out a couple of tenths on him. Where else have we got battles? Krista's going to be putting pressure on Mark Christopher soon. Craig Holmes is now 1.5 seconds in front of Mark Christopher, sorry. And Mark Christopher's 1.8 seconds. We'll do a quick run down the grid. So in pole at the moment, and he's running around in first place, is Jonathan Wood in the BMW. So Jonathan, although apparently was involved in that melee at the front of the start, he seems to have got away scot-free. That allowed him to move up one place. Okay, it's only one place, but it did allow him to move up. Obviously, less cars to pass. He has then gone on and managed to pass, I think, 2 cars as a result of that. And car 865's cleared their stop and go. So that's John Saunders has cleared his stop and go. So that's been a bit of a nightmare. So John Saunders was wiped out at the start at the Eau Rouge when 2 cars went in and had a collision, and both of them hit the wall very, very hard. Chris Bourne is 2.8 seconds behind in the Lexus, and he played with the both of them before. They both went off track as a result of getting involved with the back marker. It gave Chris Bourne the place, but Chris Bourne, the gentleman he is, he gave the place back to the pair of them. So he's now hunting them down. What he would class as officially, you know, I'm now on the hunt. But Jonathan Wood's proving a bit of a beast to try and catch at the moment, as you can see. Chris is really struggling to keep up with him here. And then 1.5 seconds behind Chris Bourne, we've got the PWS, preciouswashes.co.uk, PWS Clean Equipment, proud sponsors of ACT TV, allowing us to continue to bring you this service to yourselves and the rest of the world. And without these guys, we couldn't carry on doing stuff like this. So big thumbs up to PWS there. So David Gerrard is 11 seconds clear of Craig Holmes. So at the moment, David Gerrard's looking at a podium unless something disastrous goes wrong. And we've got 42 minutes left to race. Behind Craig Holmes, we've got Mark Christopher. So these two have had a bit of a battle. Craig went wide before, allowed Mark Christopher to gain a position, but Craig did get him at the end of the Kemmel Straight, and I think these two are going to be stuck together for the remainder of the race. The second stint will come into play massively with the tyres, I feel, in this race, and we'll see some people gain and some people lose purely on setup alone and getting the tyres running at the right temperatures. 3.3 seconds behind, we've got Krista and the Team USA, Aston Martin. He's had quite a quiet race. He was battling before with a couple of drivers, but one way or the other, he's just got his own pace going now. His lap times are pretty consistent as well, so he's just getting on with it. 7 seconds behind him, we've got first of the DK Bentleys and Kenneth Lingham. So Kenneth also survived that melee at the start, and I think gained a couple of places from it as a result of that. And has just kept his nose clean, to be honest. And he's getting on with the run. So he's currently in 7th place.
So look who's getting closer to Jonathan Wood.
Yeah, he's down to 1.3 seconds now. Jonathan's Wood last lap was a bit of a nightmare. He lost over a second. Stefan Buckley is 3 seconds behind. So we see Stefan gain on Kenneth at one point, but he seems to have lost a bit to him. He's riding the curb quite a lot. That will come back and haunt the tyres later on. So he just needs to be careful how much he takes out the curb, because the tyres will not like the curb when the temperatures start to drop. And we're only running at 15 degrees track temperature as we speak. 12 seconds behind.
Juan.
Sorry?
Hello, I just said hello to Juan.
Oh, hi Juan. Yeah, sorry, I'm on the construct on the screen at the moment. Andreas has just pitted, so you can see he's coming to the pits now, and he's being followed by Frank Tennant. So Frank Tennant's just behind him because he's pitted. I've not got his split time, so I can't really tell you what the gap is between him, because obviously Andreas has come into a pit. But looking at where he is, he's about 20 seconds behind. And then behind that, Kai, who has pitted as a result of an incident, is behind his Kenneth there in the car in front of him. So he's behind the running in order now, the two DK Bentleys. Kai was caught out in that melee at the beginning and had to pit quite early on. And then I think was involved, although no contact was made, with the incident with Jonathan Wood and David Gerrard earlier on. Andy Goddard.
Yeah, so Dimitri makes a comment saying Wood has DRS. You know, this is something I wish GT3s had. DRS. It is available in the F1 2021 game, and it will be a really fun feature to have. That's for sure.
Yep. And I know it was available in the Assetto Corsa, certain cars, the original Assetto Corsa. You could have push to pass, and you could also have DRS. Hi, Owen. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
33 seconds we've had Lars. So Lars was involved in that massive shunt at the beginning where both him and John Saunders ended up struggling. Lars did stay out but did eventually pit, whereas John Saunders jumped to the pit. So Lars is going, but I believe he did go off before. Neil Bywater is 48 seconds behind, so the field is well and truly spit out quite a lot. Neil was also caught up in that melee as well. If there were 7 cars at the start caught up in that lap 1 incident. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 7 cars. And then John Saunders, who was the big loser in that, he was the first one in the pits. His car was annihilated, it's fair to say. In reality, that car should never be repairable. But he took a huge shunt at the back end of his car, and he spun at full speed into the wall as Lars went off the track in the opposite direction and spun into the opposite wall on the other side. So, you know, the coming together was both John Saunders and Lars, and unfortunately both paid the price, and that was very much within the second corner. So Neil is behind Nikos because at the start there was a massive shunt. So, and when I mean a massive shunt, it involved 7 cars, and they weren't done there. When they got to the end of the Kemmel Straight, it carried on. So, you know, within the first lap alone.
Ooh, and something just happened to Chris Bourne.
Oh, he's disconnected.
He's disconnected. He lost connection.
Chris Bourne is currently flying high amongst. Oh no, he's back on track.
No, he's back.
What the?
It was major lag. Wow.
That was. Now, it was David Gerrard who said last night he had a 2-second lag, and I didn't see it. I wonder if that's what David Gerrard had.
Could be. That was very strange. But now
tell you what, he gained on Jonathan Wood though.
Absolutely, it's incredible. I don't understand how that happened. But it disappeared in a distance and then reappears very close to Jonathan. And now he's literally. Oh, and he's gonna pass Jonathan. Yeah. And Jonathan let him go.
He's flashing him to let him go. You can see Jonathan flashing his lights.
He let him go.
I wonder if Jonathan's thinking, "You disappeared, mate. I'm not racing you."
Yeah, maybe.
Because he would have disappeared.
That's right. He probably saw him disappear as well.
And in fact,
Jonathan is going to.
That's why Jonathan let him go.
That's right. That's the reason why.
Yeah, it was a good race, Owen. AJ, you did a sterling job on your outing. But Wood's not got damage. AJ, he was fast in qualifying, and his lap times aren't too shoddy here at the moment as well. And we can see now Chris Bourne is going to lead it, but Chris has still got a pit. Don't forget.
Well, all I can tell you, Melvin asks, what's CBO's secret weapon? I can tell you one thing about Chris. He only uses one setup since the beginning of the season. Never changes any of his setups.
Hi, Lee. I miss you, Joy, my friend. Sorry about that. Yeah, he never plays the set of. And you know, we were talking about the cars and the setups all changing. I'm not 100% convinced it's that obvious. Let me explain why. And you know, I appreciate all of us have suffered at the hands of these changes to the game since the update. I had a setup around at Bathurst. It was my own setup. It went really well, and I thought I'm going to use that as the basis for my Spa. Took it out. It didn't feel right, so I went back to my original Spa setup in the Aston, and I was actually quicker than my best lap time I've ever done by a significant amount. And I've tweaked the setup ever slightly to accommodate the nighttime running, but it's actually much. I find it much more comfortable. So I think it's horses for courses. This, I think you get used to a certain driving style, and the setup can impact that. Because my driving style and my setups are quite tight, I'm not suffering the same. I think Jeremy said the same. He's not suffering the same either.
That's right.
Yeah, so Paul Moore's saying it depends on the car. So even though they've made changes to all the cars, some of them, the setup isn't impacting them the same. I think it's fair to say. Hi, Danny. You'll be glad to hear, Danny. As of Monday, it's open season, so we'll be putting on a lot of races. You'll be free to race in any of them, and then at the end of January, we are hoping. Well, we're planning to have the new season available and starting. So yeah, as of next week, as long, my friend. Big caveat here.
That's right.
Read the rules and respect the other drivers on track. Goes without saying. Yeah, make sure you read the rules. We are updating the rules as well. I've got another member of eSeniors doing the rules, ratifying the rules with me. So the idea is we look at the rules, we challenge them to try and make them a bit more bulletproof, so there's no grey areas. There's obviously grey areas in all these articles with motor racing. We want to be a bit tighter than you know, that multi-billion-pound industry where they can't seem to make rules up and then changing them because the words are different on the pieces of paper. But anyway.
That's right.
I will. Good, Danny. Because you are quick, mate. You're brilliant to watch. It's, you know, it's just, it's all about, I mean, you see it. There's always going to be incidents. We get that. But it's the dives down the inside, you know, and the, they're the sorts of things where making sure you give the other car room that seem to catch a lot of new people out, and braking points as well, because obviously we all drive in different styles, and when we've got the mixed groups where you've got Group 2, Group 3 and Group 1, you're talking someone who could do a lap time in the 220s, and we've had car 187, is that? 107, Frank Tennant, pit lane speeding, where you've got one guy who might do a 219, and then someone else who might do a 225, so you're talking 6 seconds a lap difference. Now on the track, that's some difference, really is some difference. So quick question, Paul. Your Audi did a 204 with 60 kilograms of ballast. Why are you adding ballast? Or is it the race you were doing? AJ, it's funny you should say that. A load of people have said the Bentley's been really affected by this. And there's Chris going into the pits.
She is.
So let's keep an eye on Mr. Wood. Where's Mr. Wood coming out? And David Gerrard is just coming out of the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where Mr. Wood comes out with all this. So that means David Gerrard, if he's just come out of the pits, is going to be ahead of Chris Bourne, doesn't it? Or am I missing something there?
See what happens.
Best lap time, the Red Bull lap time at the moment is looking a mix between Jonathan Wood and Andreas Pettersson. They've got Red Bull working for them. So Paul Moore, Kunos did. Can you explain that a little bit more? How did you get ballast? Because the only way of adding ballast, or are you saying that as a bit of a joke? Because the only way to add ballast is manually in the game or through the config files.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you say they've nobbled the car. They've put ballast on it to bop it. That seems fair. Not. So these are catching up now. They're coming up to Chris Bourne is still in the pits. That's how long the pit is. He's only just come to a halt. Oh, Krista's off. Let's see what's happened there with Krista. Let's go to his far chase. And then we'll go back, because I do feel Jonathan Wood's going to pass.
I believe Jonathan is going to retake the lead.
Oh, Krista's just kept his foot planted. That's going to hurt, and there's going to be damage to that car. And the fact that he hits the wall multiple times really doesn't help his case there. And he's gone to the pits. So let's go to Jonathan Wood. Let's see where Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne is on his way out.
Yeah, he's on his way out.
So he's not
very close. Very close.
No, Chris Bourne's got this. Chris Bourne's got this. Jonathan Wood's only just coming up to Eau Rouge now.
Amazing. Amazing.
So he's come out 9 seconds behind Chris Bourne.
Incredible.
So that tells me Jonathan Wood had damage. Although
and actually he did hit.
Yeah. So right. So Jonathan Wood had, looking at this, nearly 10 seconds worth of damage actually.
Yes.
His entry to the pit stop was quicker, but he was sat stationary for 8 seconds longer than Chris Bourne, and he's actually 8 seconds behind. So the longest, the one with the most damage was Lars. He was stationary for 80 seconds, followed by Kai, who was stationary for 62 seconds. Chris Bourne's lap time was phenomenal. Stefan Buckley's, oh, he's just coming out the pits now. We can get going again. So are we going to see Chris, Jonathan now pass these guys? I'm trying to work out where. All right, so David Gerrard's also behind Jonathan Wood as well, but he's quite some distance behind. So he must have been a lap down. Yeah, so it looks like the Bentley has suffered. Is Frank coming out the pits? No, Frank's gone off. He's spun off coming up. He's came straight here, so it looks like he's gone wayward.
Oh, and Chris just went a little wide here at the bus stop.
Bus stop, yeah. He overcooked his braking, didn't he? That might be because his tyres, yeah. It might be because his tyres, and he's trying to warm his tyres up. Can you see?
Yeah.
His tyres aren't up to temperature. This is what I was saying about the second stint. You've got to have your tyres set up for the second stint. And it's not as straightforward as normally we do it, because normally coming out the same temperatures. And then you notice the track's dropped down by a degree. That's only 1 degree. But when you're trying to keep heating your tyres, that 1 degree is critical.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't think he's running at the same speed he was before.
So did you in your race stream, do you change the temperature of your next set of tires?
So what I've done is I've got a setup that I can run for up to 30-40 minutes, because once you've got the heat in the tyres, they're okay, so the clock can run down and you'll keep the heat in. Then on my second stint, the tyres that I put on are at different PSIs. So we've got a stop and go for speeding. Car 90.
Kenneth.
Is it Kenneth?
Stop and go.
Yeah, car number 96. It's a bit small on my screen because I'm running it on a 1080p screen. But Kenneth, there's still 23 minutes left. I think most cars have probably pitted now. I can see most cars have pitted. So yeah, so I've got a separate, when I go into the pits, the new tyres I put on are coming out at different PSIs. And the idea of the PSI is to ensure the temperatures can be bumped up quickly, just to allow me to carry on pushing. Because I found that the right rear really struggles, and the front right can struggle, but the front right has got it looks like a temperature differentiation of nearly PSI differentiation of within 1 lap of 1 PSI, 1 complete PSI it can go up and down with. So the front right is the tricky one, because you can't really get that to a happy balance and get it to stay static. But you'll be at one part of the lap and it'll be, say, at 27. Then when you come to finish the lap, it'll be at 28. But as soon as you get halfway around again, it's back at 27. So it's a battle trying to keep it pumped up. You don't want to overinflate it for obvious reasons. You'll just burn the tyre up. The right rear is the one that you really struggle with. And it's very difficult to keep that warm. I'm going to jump back.
Here we have David applying major pressure on Craig Holmes.
Yeah.
For P3.
Yeah, he's getting good exits in that Aston. So you've done the same as me, AJ. You've increased the PSIs for the second stint.
I believe it's the only way to compensate for the heat loss, the temperature loss.
Yeah, the PSI should allow you to almost level that out a little bit. But again, you've got to do your testing. Because if you get it wrong, yeah, you still got to stop and go. If you get it wrong, your tyres will just not work. And at this point in the race now, when it's at 1:30 in the morning, that's when you're at the most vulnerable for slipping off track. So this is where I'm expecting cars to go wide or get the braking points wrong or lose the back end because they've just not got the traction. Not the traction, the grip. Terry said the Bentley tyres are probably dying. Depends, Terry. I mean, I don't know when he put them tyres on. Craig's not been out that long. I'd be surprised if they'd gone off that quick. But there you go. You can see he's sliding. He's not got the grip, so he's struggling with his pressures there. That car, he went down the corner, and you can see they had no. Yeah, he had no traction. Oh, there's been a bit of a touch there. He's
fast, yes.
Yeah, but he's been hit. He got hit.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think when they've done the update, they've changed the collision model because that hit, he'd have been off in the past.
You could have a good point there, yes.
Because there's a lot of hits I saw yesterday where nobody went off.
That's good news somehow.
And you can see a car's parked up on the right-hand side. That's Krista. Krista's races run, I think. I saw the dust on the track before. So with Craig Holmes is putting pressure on David Gerrard. I know David Gerrard was trying to pass him before, but now Craig Holmes is putting pressure back on him. We were riding on board with David before. It'd be interesting to see if David Gerrard actually pulls away or whether Craig keeps him within his sights, because he's having a cracking run, Craig, here. Yeah, he's gaining well under braking. Outbroke himself there, though.
Krista Yort just wrote, I will DNF.
Yeah, he's he went off. I saw all the dirt on the track, and it looks like he's... So that tells me he's gone into the pits, he's come out, and he just can't get his new tyres going.
Yeah.
You know, now, that's respect to Krista for doing that, because he could easily stay out and cause bedlam. You know, and one thing we've said is if you can't race, don't race for the sake of it. You know, you've at least got to try and be competitive. But just for your reference, guys, in relation to the Aston, on Spa 2020, my best previous lap, this is no word of a lie, was a 23.8. A 2:23.
Was it 2:20? 23.
My previous best lap at Spa 2020 was a 2:23.8.
Wow.
That was before the update. The 2:19 track, I was doing in 2:21.9. Since the update, my best is in the 2:20s. So as I said, the update has apparently done nothing to me. Now, whether I've improved, I've become a better driver, I can't say, because that's obviously, I can't say that. But I am finding the car so stable to race now, and I can really push it into corners, and it grips, and I can put the power down. So as far as the 1.8 update is concerned, I'm convinced certain cars have benefited or not suffered as much, and I think the Aston's one of them. So this race is now starting to ease off a little bit.
What you're saying is very interesting, because I do drive the Aston Martin, and I notice it's not as stable as it used to be after the patch. It is a great car to drive, but I find it more twitchy than before. Maybe it's the setup, but I am going slower with the Aston Martin. And this morning, I took the BMW out of curiosity because I'm tired of seeing all those drivers with BMW go faster and faster. And to my surprise, I was instantly a second faster with the BMW without anything much. And that car is a lot more stable to drive than the Aston Martin.
Yeah, but as we've said, Jeremy, that car, until it gets bopped, and the bop is done on a track-by-track basis, everyone's going to drive the BMW. Then there'll be an update come out partway through a season, and the BMW will be at the back of the grid, and everyone going, what have they done to the BMW?
True.
And then they'll bop it again to bring it back in line.
Yes. But the major change was in the handling of the Aston Martin. You find it better to drive, and I find it a little more difficult to drive since the patch. But also, my health is not 100%, so it is. I believe it plays some kind of a factor in there. Yesterday it was a tough race. I made so many mistakes during that race.
That's concentration, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. It is.
So to give you an example, I would run the Aston. I used to run the Aston with an 8-wing. So let's assume on one track I ran that Aston with an 8-wing, and you said it's unstable. I've actually taken the wing down by 2 notches, and I find it more drivable than before. Now that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, see, I use it also with a very low wing. But I found it. I find the front of the Aston Martin doesn't stick the way it should be. It should be a little looser, and now it sticks a little too much, and I don't know how to correct that.
Yeah, it's all about setup.
It is. I believe setup is key.
So explain again what it was doing. It's twitching.
Yes, it's twitching.
Front or rear?
Yeah, when you enter a turn, whether it's left or right, it has a tendency to want to oversteer. When before I never had that issue.
Oversteer, right? Okay.
Yeah, oversteer. So I changed the brake bias, and I lowered the back of the car, trying to compensate. But the only other car that had the same issue with was the Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting understeer, there's a few things I'd change first rather than playing with the ride height. I mean, the ride height can do it, but I'd pull the front ARB. I'd tweak the ARB and give that a run first, because that could make such a big difference.
So Jonathan has managed to pull a second off between him and Chris.
And there's a reason for that. In the chat, Andy, hi Andy, has stated Chris is running with a puncher when he exited the pit lane.
Ooh. How does he know that?
He's obviously speaking to him.
I see.
He's his wingman, isn't he? Yeah, so AJ saying the same as me, soften the ARB or soften the rear springs so you get more traction. Well, AJ, I always do start with the ARB from my perspective, front or rear, depending on how I feel the car. So to give you an example, at Bathurst, when you come up the first section, the left-hander and the right-hander, there was the car was losing traction. It's hard to explain what I meant by that, but I could feel it. So I went to the pits and I changed the anti-roll bar. I softened the anti-roll bar. Next time I went up through that section, the car just was planted. It made such a difference. So I always play with the anti-roll bar front and rear first before I start playing with anything, because the anti-roll bar doesn't take performance off the car per se. It just gives you the grip or the drive. So you're not actually going to slow the car down on the straight, things like that. You know, the performance doesn't get nobbled. But when you change the ride height or you change the wing, you're inadvertently changing its performance one way or the other. It could be bad or worse. So yeah, I completely agree with that, AJ. It's the ARB I always play with first.
Yeah, to answer your question, Dimitri, yes. Blanchiment definitely was the place as well.
Yeah.
So now Jonathan is definitely going to catch Chris. Chris has issues, so he won't be able to maintain that P1.
Yeah, his lap time is a second and a half slower than Jonathan would. So on the premise of that, we're looking at in the next 2-3 laps, and you can see Jonathan behind. Oh, he's twitching all over the place, is Chris. He's really struggling with the car now, is Chris.
So does that mean he has to pit?
No, he's got low pressure. So he's probably running at 25 or 26 on one of his tyres. And in these temperatures, you know, track's at 14, he's not going to be getting heat into it. So he's really going to have to be going into the corners slow just to get the car to turn in. Otherwise, he'll be sliding depending on which tyre it is. I mean, by the way, I'm not a setup expert, AJ. Don't think I know what I'm talking about. You know, you're the sort of guy who knows it all, you know, stuff like that. I have changed my stuff and learnt by tweaking something, taking the car out, see what impact it has on the car. You know, I never used to be able to go through Eau Rouge flat out. The car would just slide, and I started playing with different things, and I learnt a lot by playing with different things to the point where I can go through Eau Rouge flat out now. And it was all about learning what impacts the changes made to the car. Some, when you make it, has the completely wrong effect than you want. So you think, hold on, I'll turn it the other way. And then you start feeling the stability. So you turn it a bit more, then you get that stability. So you push a bit more, you feel something else go. So you start looking in another area. So mine's a very progressive setup. It's not something to say, right, that's going to work for me. It's very, very progressive. And I do have a base setup like Chris. But that base setup is only a base setup. And depending on the conditions, the wet weather or whatever, I do exactly that sort of thing. We've probably got all them, Owen. Is it the one with all the pictures on telling you if you're understeer, oversteer, tyres burning up? I think we've got a couple of them posted. But yeah, feel free to do that. I think I've got 2 complete different versions of it. I think one was from Harris, actually. He's not gaining, Jonathan. He's 2.3 seconds behind.
No, that's right. I was gonna mention the same thing. Chris seems to have maintained or found something, or maybe Jonathan's tires are starting to give at the same time. It's difficult to say.
Look at the last lap times. They're on the screen.
Yeah.
100th of a second, innit?
That's crazy.
He's not going to gain at 100th of a second, is he?
No, he's not.
So, yeah.
No, actually, Chris is gaining as... that's surprising.
Yeah, Chris is pulling away.
Yes, he is. Don't forget, Jonathan pitted way before Chris. So his tires are probably going to wear off.
No, he pitted 1 lap before.
Yes. No, more than that.
No, he didn't. He pitted 1 lap before.
You sure?
Oh, no, 2 laps. So you're right, 2 laps. There wasn't a lot of laps in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't forget, it's a long track, isn't it? So you're out for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, that's the one. So there's 2 going round. There's one with, I think, orange colours on, and there's one with the green colours on. So it'll be one of them 2. The big thing for me is I understand what it's all saying, but where I struggle is when it says soften the suspension. Does it make the numbers higher or the numbers lower? When it says soften the ARB, does it mean make the number higher or make the number lower? That's where I struggle.
Yeah, they should make it clearer. They should make it clearer.
Yeah, but it's meant to be as close to sim racing as possible, isn't it? That's probably why. And you can see now Chris is catching up back markers. And that was, I think that was Frank letting him go there. That was Frank easing off. He was slow out of there, was Chris. Jonathan Wood gained 0.2 on him there. He's still done a 2:20.7 though.
Yeah.
I thought it was Nick. I was being funny there because I know if you lower the ARB at the back, it's soften is the higher figures.
Well, you know, it's like the differential lock.
Yeah.
You know, I find the lower it is for me, the better handling I have of the car. Is it the same for you?
I see. This is another one. The diff lock I don't have low. If I have it too low, I was going to say, Derek, I thought softer was lower. So on the ARB, if I move it from 3 to 2, I'm softer in the anti-roll bar. So that's what I was trying to work out. What Nikos has said, softer is a higher figures.
Well, Derek says softer is lower.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's why when I saw what Nikos put, I thought, I'm not getting into a debate here. I'm going to leave it.
But tell me about the differential lock.
So the differential lock by default, I think it sets it to 30 in the game for most of the setups.
Okay.
And the car's very drivable. But I've found the more you release the diff lock, Terry's just said exactly what I was going to say. I've found the more you move the differential lock to the middle, you get a better drive. And it also seems to make the rear end stable. Now, if you go too far, it becomes very, very loose. It's quick, but it's very undrivable.
You know what? It's the opposite for me. The higher it gets, the less drivable car I have. It's very strange.
No, the higher it does become less drivable. That's right.
Yeah. So it has to be as low as possible.
Yeah, I think mine. I differentiate the lock on mine between 90 and 110, and I'll switch it between.
Something happened to Chris Bourne again with the lag. He
disappeared.
Yeah,
he's in space. Space man.
What is going on here?
He's got his brakes on.
What's going on? Oh,
he's gone.
He's disappeared. He's gone.
He's gone.
Oh wow, he lost connection.
Yeah, so Terry's Terry and me are pretty much bang on, and it's ironic that we can push the cars to very similar times. So I do very much similar to you, Terry, but I run it between 90 and 110, and that's the only thing I tend to tweak based on the track. But I think at Bathurst I had my Aston at 110, and that's where I seem to get in the mountain section a pretty good run. And that's where I also lowered the ARB at the back, just to give it a bit more stability. But when I say I tweak them, I don't go mad and take 10 off here and there. I'm talking one notch at a time. Now, if I understood what I was doing, I'd explain it. But as I don't understand what I'm doing, it's like, yeah, all right.
So you were right. Here we have Jonathan Wood leading and probably winning this race because he has a 20-second gap to P2 Craig Holmes.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, David Gerard is fighting for P2 here.
He is.
So this could be very interesting.
And Craig is catching the back markers now, so this is going to put pressure on. And I do believe, I personally think I've got quicker this season. And, I think the results show that. I think that's a couple of things. I've learned off the best, your Peters of this world, your Larses of this world. And in some respects, watching the likes of Terry, and some of the Group 2 racers, you can learn so much from people who may not be, thunder and lightning in front of you, or actually drive a different style. You can learn so much about braking points. So the first thing I think I've learned is that's helped me. But I think the second thing is tweaking the car setup. Oh, and there you go. There's been a pass.
Oh, yes.
Craig went wide. And I think, from that perspective, when you put two items together, driving style and setup, I think you're going to make a natural progression. Now, from my perspective, I think I'm at the limit of what I can achieve with the equipment I've got. Does that mean I need new equipment? Well, that's a debate I'm sure the wife doesn't want me to have. But, I have load cell pedals. I don't have direct drive. The question is, would direct drive improve things for me? I'm unsure. So that's one of them decisions I need to make. I'll probably get direct drive before pedals.
Chris says, I still have internet. So did you get kicked out of the server?
He must have done. So Dimitri's saying there, a higher preload makes it looser, which is exactly what I said, Dimitri. Gives you better drive, but you're saying you have to increase the TC to compensate. And Dimitri just needs to learn how to drive. And Derek says, I'm like him with my setup. I adjust something and it works. It's pure luck. But I will say, Derek, your Pure looks a lot better than mine. Oh, there's been a bit of a problem here with Craig Holmes. This might be rewarding someone else here. So Mark Christopher's now in 3rd place. So
That's
PWS 2 and 3. Are we going to see? It's not gone into replay for me, has it? No, sorry, it's not gone into replay for me. I thought it got into replay. So now we've now got PWS in 1st and 2nd. So the other battle on track at the moment is Mr. Goddard, who's chasing down Kai Schaefer.
Yeah, so Chris got kicked out of the server. That's unfortunate, Chris.
So Chris, I said, I wonder if one of your tyres has dropped. And I says, has it gone to 25 or 26? I didn't say which tyre, to be fair, but yeah, the rear right went to 26. Aston equals TC1 on every circuit, wet or dry. Not for me, AJ. Not a chance. I'm not bad in the wet, to be fair, but no, TC1's the bridge too far for me. No, Willie, if you lose connection, you can't regain. We've done that deliberately. When we were having the lag problems, Willie, we decided that once the server's in race, you can't join because it was causing lag. Obviously, the lag problem's disappeared now, but we still think it's only right because you get someone just jumping in thinking a race isn't on, and it's just unnecessary. So Chris is saying Jonathan's low on fuel, and yes, he's gone to map 3. Jonathan's gone to map 3. I'm on his dashboard.
Yes, he has.
He has gone to map 3. And he's short shifting.
But he has a comfortable lead, so...
If he's in the wrong map, he will lose ample time getting off the mark. Let's see
Once again, I really question drivers that run out of fuel, really. What does it take to add 5 liters or even 10? Nothing's going to happen to you.
Yeah, and we've just had an incident there with John Saunders and Craig Holmes. So Terry's saying we got chucked today. So Terry, I did put in Discord, there was a point during today where I reset the server because I did some admin on it, and me and Jeremy were looking at something, and we wanted to make a change, and we wanted to reset the server. I can't give you the reasons why, but we felt we needed to do it rather than later. We knew there was 5 people on the server at the time, but obviously it's not something we could easily announce, so we just took the decision. But I did go in Discord and say, sorry guys, we've just had to reset the server. So we apologise if you went off for that.
Yes.
It was one of them things we just felt we needed to do. We'd been discussing something for a good 20 minutes, hadn't we, Jeremy? We made a change, and I said, do we wait till there's no one on the server? And because of the nature of what we wanted to do, we wanted to do it sooner rather than later. Jonathan Wood is still on map 3. But look, David Gerrard is down to 8 seconds.
Huh.
As I said,
that would be really ironic if he ran out of gas, really.
As I said, Terry, I did announce it in Discord, so if you didn't read that, my apologies. But yeah, it was us.
Well, yeah, sometimes there's what you call a cas de force majeure. Something has to be done, regardless of the amount of drivers that are on the server at the time. The server had to be taken care of. It was something very important that has to be changed. And in order to take effect, we had to stop and restart the server. So apologies for that.
Just another thing as well, and I know that this hasn't got everybody here. If anybody goes to the donate option, it's slightly different. So me and Jeremy had to change something last week to do with the donations. So it's slightly different to the way it used to work. Again, there was a reason why we had to do that. We've done that, so you may just see something different. It might say something different on the screen, that's all. But again, it's still above board, it's still legit. I know someone wanted to donate the other day and check with me first because the details had appeared to change on the screen, and I did confirm what the new details were and said yes, it's something we've changed. Now Jonathan Wood's gone back to map 1. Is that because he's seen David Gerrard gaining on him?
And he's on his last lap.
Yeah.
He's on his last lap, and there's only 5 seconds between them.
He could still go wrong.
4 seconds.
Yeah. He could still go wrong.
Yeah. Wow, that would be really something. But I'm sure he has enough.
Yeah,
Enough
Jonathan.
fuel.
Chris is saying Jonathan's had enough. He's calculated. He's got enough. So yeah, this race is almost over by the shouting, shall we say? Let's go to the far chase so we can see him around. In fact, what we'll do, we'll follow him round like this. Not that I want to make anyone feel sick. But we can follow it. There's a car coming up now. You can see there. That looks like it's Andreas. Or it's Lars. I can't tell which one it is. He's coming down. He's being flashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going for it here. Just move the camera a little bit so we can change the view somewhat, so we can ride along with him in the BMW. So I will say, stream, I did tip Jonathan Wood.
You did. You did.
Very fair racing, to be fair. He got lucky with the melee at the beginning, I think. There we go. Great victory there, Mr. Wood. He'll be messaging me after. That I am certain of.
Absolutely.
I just need to try and get the game back now, so I can go back to the stream, and let's go on board with Mark Christopher, who's coming round. He's being pressured there by Craig, but that's not for position. Christopher gets a podium. Great result for Mr. Christopher there. Craig Holmes passes as a result of being behind him. Andreas, who was the one of the cars that's been passed, as you can see, is coming over. Pouillon at the moment. Not Pouillon, sorry. The fast left-hander, Blanchimont. And then he's coming into the bus stop. He's coming to an end. This is his last lap. And then 4 seconds behind him, we've got Stefan Buckley in the other BMW. So that's BMW 1st and 6th from the same team. That's a pretty good all of points, that. Fair to say. And we got Kai coming over in front of Kenneth after having that incident early on. He's now coming through Blanchimont.
Yeah, so Jonathan just confirmed he almost ran out of gas.
Yeah. So AJ, yes, we do allow flashing of the back markers. Obviously in a non-aggressive manner, so you don't sit there going down the straight flashing the lights for 10 seconds. You wait until you're in a reasonable distance, then flash them. That's perfectly acceptable to do that. So we do permit that. What you can't do is to wind somebody up, and it's in the rules, is if you're behind someone and you're racing with them in general, and it's not, as a back marker, you can't sit there keep flashing someone because obviously it's off-putting.
Ran out of gas.
Ran out of gas, yeah, we saw. Great victory. We have Mr. Wood with us. Great victory, Jonathan.
Thank you. That was fun. Sorry, I did a little expletive there. I didn't realise we were on air.
No, we didn't. Guess who I picked to win?
Chris Bourne.
Nope, I picked you, mate.
You did?
I did.
Absolutely.
That's very nice.
Jeremy will back me up. I said I think we've got a bit of a spoiler in the pack here. I think Jonathan Wood's going to do this. And it was spot on.
Dude, the first corner, that Eau Rouge, I don't know what the hell was going on, because I hit the barrier. I was trying to avoid them, and I don't know what they were doing. That they weren't flat through Eau Rouge, and I was flat. And you're only in third, fourth gear at that point because of the start line. And they were spinning, and I hit the wall, and I'm like, oh my! And I was like jimmying the steering wheel back and forth to try not to spin. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think you got away lightly because, as you know, Lars and John Saunders. Lars had a really damaged car. John Saunders ended up pitting. So consequently, I think I'm not saying it was gifted to you because you had to work hard for it. And Chris Bourne put you under a lot of pressure.
Jonathan, did you notice the first time when Chris disappeared, he had a major lag issue? Did you notice that?
Yeah, so in my mirrors, he was like a few seconds behind me, and then he completely disappeared. And I said to the guys in the chat, I'm like, he is gone. Did he spin? And then about like 10 seconds later, he reappeared. That's why at the end there, when he because I caught him, he was like 8 seconds ahead, and I brought it down to under 2 seconds. But then he found some speed, and there was no way I was going to catch him. But when he disappeared, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
unfortunately, he got kicked out of the. He had a second issue and he lost connection to the server.
I thought maybe the race director pressed a button or something.
No, definitely not. So the first time his car just froze, and it froze over in a forest. So he was amongst a load of trees in the air, which was quite fantastic to see. And next minute, at that point, he was about 4 seconds behind you. Then when it come back on and he was on track, he was like 1 second behind. You were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Well, I let off the gas. I mean, because I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Well, we noticed because you pitted after that, and you let him past. And I said on the stream, I wonder if Jonathan Woods thought, "I'm not having him disappear and come back on top of me again."
Yeah.
Well, no, the plan was always to pit right then. I had no gas left. That was it. That was as far as I could go. But
how can you do that, Jonathan? How can you not put enough gas?
It was just a mistake. Actually, I mean, I actually based it on what Stefan told me because he had done a few races in the last night.
What, maybe you didn't race? Yeah. You didn't race yesterday?
Maybe I did. I guess. Maybe I just forgot. I did. Maybe I just forgot what I had put in. But I think I did. I was gonna put in 50 to start, and then another 65 to in the second stint, and I think I brought it back to like 60 or 63. Actually, during a pit stop, I changed it. But also because I had that damage, I was fiddling around. I was going down a pit lane, fudging around, trying to figure out how to uncheck the the bodywork damage and the suspension damage. And I was pressing buttons on my steering wheel, and I was fucking up all my brake balance, and I was screwing everything up.
Yeah.
And somebody on the stream said, "Oh, just use your arrow keys on your keyboard." I'm like, "Oh God, okay." So I managed to uncheck those, but then I had lost like almost 10 seconds to Chris in the pit stop. But
that's it.
It's good to win.
You won.
Yeah.
You won. Congratulations.
Okay, I'm going to call the stream to end. Just want to say thanks very much, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
And well done, Jonathan. Thanks for joining the stream at the end. Really appreciate that. And catch you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.
Bye all.
Take care. Bye-bye.